We are very careful with wording.
She's always talking about, like, if I taught in Texas, I'd be fired.
Critical race theory. Critical race theory.
In North Carolina, a few hours ago, came one step closer to joining the group of states banning the teaching of critical race theory.
This is Adam Gillette with Accuracy in Media, and today's hidden camera investigation into public education takes us to the conservative southern state of North Carolina.
We're not banning books. We're not
Okay.
doing those kinds of things.
Okay.
So you could talk about like systemic racism and social justice and things like that.
Absolutely. We definitely have things that we can talk about that.
Parents across the country are aware that there's a major problem with public education in America. It seems educators are more focused on indoctrination rather than education.
My wife teaches at Jefferson Elementary.
Okay.
Another one that is, she's a fifth grade teacher, and she's always talking about, like, if I taught in Texas, I'd be fired.
What was that?
If I taught in Texas, I'd be fired. Right?
Why?
So
Okay,
it's not.
I get it.
What is she teaching that she can't teach here, but like in Texas she'd be?
I mean, just you mentioned it, white privilege, historical, racial inequities, different things like that.
Now, as a reminder, these districts aren't teaching the higher education level of critical race theory. Instead, they're teaching principles associated with critical race theory. Things like the notion that capitalism is inherently racist, that America is systemically racist, things like white privilege and social justice. And when parents catch on to these terms, the educators just change the terms and keep on indoctrinating.
We haven't had any major complaints about what's being taught with those things at the current moment.
We have friends who are educators, and like what you said about wording totally rings true, because like one of them told us instead of calling it privilege, what does he call it?
Circumstance.
Circumstance.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's wording, because if in this area you say privilege, it does immediately give some people that negative feeling.
Now, the defenders of indoctrination in K-12 schools would claim that we just don't want real history to be taught, when in fact, these districts now have full-time equity officers. These are non-classroom positions focused on getting the principles of critical race theory into every facet of public education. It's about training not just the students, but also the educators.
We as a whole staff of curriculum people have been through, like, basically we called it diversity, but training. Our entire central office staff and principals went through that, and the understanding of fair versus equal, those kinds of things.
And equity versus equality.
Yes.
Okay.
I can't believe that.
Okay.
Equity training.
Yeah.
And the Tiki Torch crowd doesn't come? How do they not?
I think it's about wording. I think, we went through it. I can tell you that. I was in it. It was a few years ago now, but we are very careful with wording, but they find it very valuable.
Dr. Bullock is phenomenal, yes, and his team is phenomenal, and they go into the schools and provide equity training to our teachers, even our certified staff, because they work with our students as well, building level administrators, so everybody's getting the same information across the board, and it's not this pocket of people is getting this, this pocket of people is getting this, everybody's getting the same information. The training is not so much for our students, but there are opportunities within the school where students do get that.
Now, one very common tactic for teaching radical principles like gender theory and critical race theory in K-12 education is to use a classroom curriculum service like Newsella.
We have Newsella.
Oh, you do? Awesome.
Yes, we use it in our secondary schools. We purchase it for secondary. We do have elementary schools that use it as well.
Newsella partners with the radical Southern Poverty Law Center, Marxist historian Howard Zinn, and even, of course, the New York Times 1619 Project. If you saw those things sent home to your student as an assignment, you'd be outraged. But under the guise of Newsella, you're generally none the wiser.
Do you happen to know if they use Newsella?
They do.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I know that elementary schools just got the new curriculum, but they do a lot of Newsella in middle school.
The solution to this problem is not to ban critical race theory in K-12 education, as has been done in Texas and many other states. Because as we've proven again and again and again, those bans aren't worth the paper they're printed on. The only solution for families is universal school choice where the money follows the child. As Corey DeAngelis always says, we should be funding students, not systems. Use the link below this video to send one message that goes to your elected officials. Tell them you want real school choice for your state. Again, I'm Adam Gillette with Accuracy in Media, and we've got more investigations coming your way.